Hello, Kenzie Benali here, and you're watching Saints at Home, coming to you from our homes to yours. Now, this is all part of our Saints as One campaign, and they're delivering 1,000 meals every single week for the next 12 weeks to vulnerable members of our community. If you'd like to find out more about that, all you need to do is head to southamptonfc.com. But for now, it's on with this show, and I'm delighted to say today I am joined by Saints legend and club ambassador Matt Tissier, men's first team player Oriol Romeu, women's head coach Marieanne Spacey-Cale, and women's captain Shannon Sievwright. Guys, hello. So good to have you all joining us. Matt, particularly you from San Francisco, it looks like. How are we all doing?
I'm doing okay. I haven't broken the rules of the lockdown. This is clearly a virtual background. As much as I'd love that to be my view out my back garden, it's not.
Well, it's better than the Peppa Pig that you did just previously have. Guys, how are you doing? Shannon, Marieanne, Oriol, how are you doing?
Very good, very good. I'm good at home. I'm trying to keep myself doing things, but I'm having this as a new experience and trying also to take the best out of it, which is good. I'm enjoying it.
Shannon, how have you found it?
Yeah, I'm keeping busy, to be fair. I've still got some work to do as part of like the Saints Foundation at home. So alongside that, I'm still doing like home workouts, do a lot of reading, really getting into my yoga. So it's been all right.
So you've been busy then. Marieanne, that's good to hear.
Yeah, the same really. Lots going on still. Virtual meetings, which are a new experience, and but other than that, just trying to, like everybody else, just trying to turn it into as a positive experience as possible, and enjoying probably more time to exercise than I've had for a while. So yeah, trying to get back in shape, and never know, might get 90 minutes next season.
That's exactly it. I feel like there's so many positives that you can take from it. And you know, you mentioned, Shannon, you're doing yoga, Marieanne, the exercise. It's so important that people are getting out and doing that kind of thing. What are you guys doing to kind of keep yourselves busy and entertained other than exercise throughout the day though?
You want me to start? We from the club, we have like a program which we are controlled with our watch that we have to wear the whole day. So that's keeping us busy as well, and that's helping us to do everything every day. And as soon as I get up in the morning, I try to do my daily work, and that's helping me a lot, which is also keeping me in a good shape and making sure that whenever we come back, we're in a good state of form. So that's something we're doing. And in the afternoons, I put myself down in a mat and try to do also some yoga exercises or some other stuff. So like having a routine to make sure we are also fully fit.
The watch means you can't get away with any skiving then, Oriol?
Say again, sorry?
You can't get away with any skiving with that watch on. You've got to get your exercise in.
Everything gets recorded, and whenever we come back, Grossi or Bill, they're going to be checking everything, and they're going to make sure we've done all the things that we have to do. But that's good, and that's also... Say again, what?
Put the watch on the dog.
I think I've never run. I think I've never run that fast, so they will see it straight away. That's not you, or you're lying. You never go above 10 or 15 kilometers an hour, so that's not you. No, but this is we see everything in there. It's amazing. Like, I don't know how they do it, but it's so clever, and it also helps us to compare ourselves from the week before and the week before. So it's actually a good idea.
Shannon, you're in a really similar situation to Oriol in that you obviously need to keep yourself fit. How are you finding kind of training from home, particularly with the news that, you know, the season won't be continuing for yourself?
I'll just note, like myself and the girls, we're all still working really hard. So James Grant, our S&C, he sent out like sessions for us to do. And then he's individualised some sessions as well. So there's some girls that may have access to some like weights and stuff at home. There's others that may have like limited access to stuff. So he's tailored sessions accordingly. So like for myself, I've made myself some like isolation goals. So in one of my sessions, I have like 5 sets of as many press ups as possible. So I've tried to accumulate 130 press ups altogether as I can aim. And then one of my other like pull up sessions, I've just got a pull up bar. So I aim to be able to do like the full pull ups like consistently. So I'm just kind of setting them goals has really helped as well, alongside some running stuff that we've been given also.
And how good is that for you to hear that, you know, the girls are working really hard and staying motivated?
Yeah, I think, you know, we absolutely trust this group of players that the stuff that they're giving out, they've been given, they're going to just deliver, because it's like any real competitive sports person, or you'll probably agree, if you let your standards drop, then other people are going to take over or go past you. So I think everyone's got a real sense of, for us to come back next season stronger and you know, get the results and better the results than we did this year, we've got to be working now to ensure that we keep that good base layer of fitness and like technical ability. So, you know, sending out technical drills as well, little challenges I've seen on like bin challenges, and using what equipment you've just got around the house. So trying to be creative with, you know, walls and bins and all the things that we used to do as kids, like informal play, just out in the playground, out in the parks, out in the fields, in your back garden, in your front room, use a balloon. And these days it's a toilet roll, isn't it? So just trying to find lots of different ways to keep the enthusiasm, because it's hard when you're isolated on your own, but also to just do stuff with a smile on your face and informally fall in love with being part of or stay in love with exercise and being with a ball and the stuff that you can do from home.
Have you all tried the toilet roll challenge? Because that looks incredibly difficult.
I did try it, and it's actually difficult, yeah. But yeah, I could get it after the 3rd or 4th time, 10 kick ups. But it was because it's not so unstable, so you're never sure where the ball or the roll in this case is gonna go. So that was quite hard, yeah.
Matt, how did you get on with it?
Yeah, not too bad. I think I managed to, on about the 2nd or 3rd attempt, I managed to keep up about 10 times and then volley it away. But I then had about another 17 or 18 attempts because I thought I could do better than that. I keep forgetting I'm 51, not 31.
Matt, generally, how's isolation been for you then, aside from trying to nail the toilet roll keepy uppies?
To be honest, Kenz, you've known me a long time, and doing nothing is something that I'm pretty good at.
I don't want to be rude and say that, but
so I've actually adapted to this life pretty well. I've got to be honest. So I have cut the grass a couple of times, which is highly unusual for me. And so I'm learning new skills all the time. I've cleaned the inside of the windows of the house last week. That's something that I've not done for quite some time. But the grass is now short enough I can practice my chipping on the back garden. So
I knew you were going to say that.
There has to be, and I've got to keep my short game going when we can get back out on the golf course.
And is there a good supply of Malibu in the house? That's what we need to know.
Do you know what? I've never really been one to actually drink at home. I don't really drink a great deal of alcohol anyway. But these last couple of weeks, I have found myself at about 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening just going, I might have a little Malibu and Coke tonight. And I just have the odd 1 or 2 here and there, and it's been very nice, I've got to say.
Good. What about the rest of you then? Have you guys had any sort of little guilty pleasures or anything that's particularly been getting you through, whether it's a Netflix series or maybe it's a game, you're playing in the garden? What have you been up to?
Kenzie?
I have to be honest that I didn't even realise I had a Netflix account until somebody said about a series, and I had to message my daughter in Australia and say, what's the password? I need to watch something, what's the password? So a whole new realm of like TV and shows and like box sets or whatever has come into my life since my daughter admitted that she's been using the account, and I can suddenly have the password.
So you're paying for it, but she's the one using it.
Exactly. Isn't that what mums do?
Absolutely. Well, now you're in the realm of Netflix. Anything you're particularly enjoying on there?
To be honest, I looked at Netflix and then I went on to Amazon. And I'm just watching the test about the Australian cricket team. So it's
great,
just.
actually. I watched that the other day. Matt, have you seen that one yet?
I haven't seen that one yet, but I have just finished watching Tiger King,
I'm
which
yet
was
to watch that.
absolutely fascinating. I mean, it is quite remarkable how you could watch that program. You will have a completely different perspective of what people in America are like.
I bet. Oriol, what have you been
Quite bizarre.
watching?
I wanted to jump on because I want to recommend the series called Money Heist. It's called in English, and that's a very good one. It's a Spanish one. That's what I was gonna say. But it's also now they just released the 4th season, and they've done a great job. It's like a robbery, and it's so addictive you cannot stop watching. And they've been now famous everywhere. Like wherever I go, everyone keeps talking about this TV series. So that's a good one. I'm watching it, but it only has like 8 episodes. So in order to keep it as nice as possible, I had to watch one per day. Otherwise, I will watch it everything in one day, and the week will be gone. So I'm trying to control myself. Okay, today I'm gonna watch one, tomorrow one. Otherwise, it's gonna be too fast.
You're very
I'm enjoying it. I recommend it.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't do the one episode a day. I commit to a series. I will sit down, and especially now I've got all this time, I will watch that series in a day or two. It's not great, but
I was saying that to some friends of mine, that if I can make it last like for a week, then I will enjoy it more, because if it's only one day, tomorrow I'll be off. I have nothing to look for today. I have no plan. So I always, whenever I finish dinner, I say, okay, I'm gonna watch it now. So it's my goal or my prize for the day, and I enjoy it.
Oh, it's so good. Shannon, what about you? When you're not doing your push-ups or your pull-ups, what are you watching?
I don't tend to watch much. If it is, it's probably a musical. So I've watched Tangled, Frozen 2, Greatest Showman. But have you played the game called Rummy Cup before?
No, what's
Rummy
that?
Cup. So wait, has any of you guys?
I know of it, but I haven't played it.
Never played it. Right, I highly recommend it. So you get like 14 tiles to start with, and then in order to you lay your tiles down. But in order to lay your tiles down, you have to have like a sequence of numbers. There's numbers from 1 to 13. There's like a black set of them, blue set, red set, and in order to break out, you have to have like a 1, 2, 3 of the same color, or like a 2, 2, 2 of different colors. And then the aim is to kind of get rid of all your sequences. And then when there's a lot of sequences on the table, you can like break things up, because they have to stay in like at least groups of 3. You can break them up to release a tile. So we'll go really into that. So we've got like a scoreboard in my family of like who's winning. My mum's top at the moment, and then I'm second. But by the end of it, I'll be winning.
Okay, that's great. So I've got a few series I need to watch, and I'll get on that game as well. Another thing I want to ask you guys is, I don't know about you, but I've seen a huge amount of DIY haircuts flying around on social media. Now, I don't know how desperate you're going to get. Oriol, you're doing okay. You've got quite short hair anyway. But do any of you think you'll be taking on the old haircut from home?
No, definitely not taking on. I'm not going to let Anna loose on my mop anytime soon. I was really fortunate. I had my haircut on the last day of lockdown.
Yes.
So the day that we did it, I managed to get a haircut in, and I'm hoping, it might get a little bit long, but by the time we come out of it, it should be ready to go again.
Smart move, I got to say. I actually cut my other half's hair the other day, and it's a good job we're going to be home for a little while longer, I think, put it that way. What about you girls? Are you going to be attempting any haircuts at all?
I think my husband is asking me to cut his hair, which could be a big mistake, because he just, and like you said, the good thing is we're probably indoors for a bit longer. So, but I've just got to remember he's got a lot of virtual meetings as well. So, yeah, I'll try out on him, and if I'm successful, or even if I'm not successful, I'm not going to try it on my hair. My hairdresser would kill me.
So this is the
thing.
thing.
You should, Marianne.
we're going to be seeing each other with caps on and hats, hoods up, and all sorts, aren't we? I think that's the way forward. Matt, in terms of work, then we've obviously heard from Shannon and Oriol how they're training from home and how that's working for them. But what about you with your media work? How have you been kind of getting by with that, and have you been busy?
No, not busy at all, really. There's been the occasional. We did a Zoom chat with the 4 of us from Soccer Saturday last weekend. I did a little interview with Sky Sports News yesterday when I was down at the Fairshare depot. We were down there doing a little bit of volunteering down there, so Sky Sports News came down and had a bit of a chat there. But yeah, apart from that, it's been nothing really, and it's just been a lot of spare time to fill, and as you say, watching a lot of TV programs and spending some time in the garden with Ava. We've got a new netball post that's just arrived, so Ava's been practicing on that, and I've had a little go, setting her a little challenge to see if she can beat me from like 10 shots from 3 or 4 yards out.
She's a good netballer, though.
She is. It's quite funny because me and the wife had a go on. I think we got 6 out of 10 and 7 out of 10, and we told Ava that we'd done this, and she came out and just stood there and went, "I can beat that." And within a few attempts, she'd had 8 out of 10, and did the 8 out of 10, and went, "Yeah, beat that. See you later," and off she went back inside.
Done like a true Latiz, Matt.
I have a very competitive daughter.
You do. Definitely like yourself. In terms of your volunteering, then, you touched on that Fair Share scheme. Tell us a little bit more about that and what you've been up to with that, Matt.
So I did my first stint yesterday morning. They've got the warehouse over at Totton. So supermarkets and convenience stores and all things like that, they send all the produce that they don't sell in that day, that they're not going to be able to sell, they send it to the Fair Share scheme, to the warehouse in Totton. That all comes into the warehouse. It has to get distributed into different orders for different members of the society who are a little bit vulnerable. And we were in there just getting all the orders set up, ready for the vans to take it out across the city to help out the more vulnerable people in our society. And it's the first bit of manual labour I've done for some considerable time. Your back was aching a bit last night.
I bet. I mean, it's such an amazing scheme, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is fantastic what they do down there. It really is. And obviously, with what's going on at the moment, they are inundated with food, and they've just got so much stuff. People have been so generous, but they need plenty of people in there and plenty of volunteers to go and help to make sure the order's in the right place and to get it distributed across the city. So I'm hoping to get down there again shortly and do my little bit to try and help.
I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love hearing stories like that. It's kind of really kept me positive and uplifted throughout all of this, hearing about, volunteering and our key workers as well. And I don't know if you guys were out on your doorsteps the last couple of Thursdays clapping along for our carers and NHS, but it actually made me really emotional. I don't know about you.
Yeah, my sister, funnily enough, she retired in January from an A&E department in hospital, and she went off on a little retirement trip, and now she's debating about whether to go back in as a key worker. My mum was in the NHS for 40, 50 years, so for me, the work that they do is absolutely amazing. Day to day, and to have stepped up the way they have in this situation as well. I think it just shows how much pride and how much we rely on them and the work that they do without sometimes you take it for granted that they're just that the hospitals are just there and people do it. It's only now that when the crisis has come and the pandemic has come that you really appreciate the work that they do. And big shout out to them, because the work that they're doing, all the key workers, it's a crazy time for them at the moment, but every morning they get up, they go in, the night shift take over, and they just care for people, and that is so important and so admirable. And I take my hat off to them because it's amazing what they're doing.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And sorry, Kenzie, I also think that this thing is sometimes frustrating, but it's also bringing the nicest things from a lot of people. And I admire this from England in particular, because people are also very helpful and they always try to help and volunteer with things. And that's from me, that's one of the nicest things to experience, not just clapping and doing all those things that are very nice, but also helping with their hands. And I've got emails from like the neighborhood saying if anyone needs some shopping or some food or anything, people will just go out and help them, for the elderly people as well. So that's I admire that a lot, and I think it's one of the nicest things. Although there are all ugly things through this period, but we can take a lot of nice things from here, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, it's amazing how in these kind of times of adversity, which are obviously really difficult for everyone, there's so much positive that seems to come from it. And I don't know about you, I feel like we'll all come out of this kind of different people, really. I think we might view the world in a really different way.
Yeah, I hope so. If you know, sometimes it's in adversity true strength comes through, isn't it? So let's hope that what people are doing for each other now continues.
Yeah, and as Marieanne said before, we took things for granted, like going out and having a coffee and enjoying a chat with 2 or 3 people was something normal. Whereas now it's gonna be probably we're gonna feel, oh, you know, we can go out, we can walk, we can join some social contact, and being able to chat and talk. We're gonna enjoy those things probably, and maybe in a few years' times we should not forget this, because this is afterwards it just gets past and we think, we are good again. But we should appreciate the small things, which are what makes us happier.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And actually going out for coffee, like you said, is such a simple thing, but you know, I really miss doing things like that. But what do you guys find yourself kind of missing day to day? What are you really excited to get out and do when we're allowed out again?
Oh, it's definitely golf for me. And I think because of the way that the shutdown happened, I think they'll probably go back in reverse order the way they shut down to bring a gradual bit of normality back to society. And luckily, golf was one of the last sports that you still could play before the country actually locked down, because of the way that you can play it and still keep the social distancing. So I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that it's the first that comes back on board when the first bit of the lockdown gets released.
Shannon, I saw you smiling there when I asked what you were going to get up to. What are your plans?
Right, so I thought about this, because I've got a plan one day already. So I cannot wait to see my teammates. Like, honestly, I think the excitement when we're all back together is just going to be incredible. So I think go to the gym, that'll be the first thing, because I'm missing out. Onto the football pitch, and then afterwards we're going to go to my favourite coffee shop. It's called Garage Lounge. We get a nice cup of tea. They do like the best tea. We get a nice cup of tea from there. And then I'll probably just go back in the gym and then continue playing football with them as well. Like,
not that you've thought that through a lot at all, Shannon.
No, not all.
Yeah. We try not to give Shannon too much free time for thinking.
She's got a lot of that, I'm afraid, Marieanne. Well, speaking of your teammates, Shannon, and Oriol, this goes for you as well. It must be really strange going from spending all your time with them to all of a sudden now being in a situation where, you know, we are all in our houses and things. How are you kind of keeping in touch, and are you kind of doing quizzes or anything like that together? What's kind of going on amongst the teams?
I have to say I'm missing them. I'm missing that daily routine. You get in the morning, you have your breakfast together, you see them. It's probably sometimes we spend more time together than with our families, with the teammates. And now it's been for 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't seen them, but we've had some calls with some of the players, and being able to see them again and to chat for a while it has been nice, and has kept me a little bit more active and remembered me those nice things that we spent together. And the only thing that we try now is everything through WhatsApp or Zoom or these apps that can give you the chance to talk and be in touch. But there's obviously no more than that. We can, at the moment, we need to wait. But probably, again, whenever we come back and we're together in the dressing room, we're gonna be so excited, and we're gonna try to do everything together and enjoy those moments for sure.
Shannon, how have you been keeping in touch with the girls?
We have a WhatsApp group. So we're often like speaking every day on there, and then video calls as well. So the other day there was a video call. There's a couple of us that went on a video call, and then you can lock the video chat so like no one can get into it, or you can like leave it unlocked. We left it unlocked, And about 5 minutes into our chat, like 5 of the other football girls, they come onto the chat, and it was just like amazing to see them. Like we obviously didn't anticipate it because we didn't realise we didn't lock this chat. So when they popped up on the screen, we was all like, "Oh my god!" But like I think we'll really value like the human connection once we're like back together. On top of that, we've had like a virtual yoga session. Everyone did that. That was good. And then a quiz on Thursday night. We have a quiz. And there was some of the younger girls that have come up from the RTC. They've kind of just joined our like group chats and stuff. So we sent through like some questions that about some of the players in the team to like test their knowledge, and we said, right, if you get it wrong, you're out of the group chat. So one of them got one of the questions right, and was like, right, instead of removing you from the group, we just request a TikTok. And some of the TikToks they sent, they were really good. Like, so we've seen some TikToks.
TikTok, we haven't spoken about that yet. That's something I haven't got on board with yet, but that again seems to be taking the world by storm. I mean, have any of you guys been doing any TikToks?
Marieanne?
She doesn't have Netflix, so she's gonna have TikTok.
Found out about Netflix, no chance. TikTok, yeah. Oh,
I think I've interrupted a couple of my daughter's TikToks accidentally, where she's been in a room doing some stuff, and I've just kind of walked in. And I'm in the background going, "Hi."
That's so funny. Somebody's going to be watching
a barrage of abuse from her.
Somebody's going to be watching, thinking, "Did Tiss just walk behind in the background there?" Very strange. Maybe in a couple of weeks' time, Matt, you might give it a go. Who knows?
I definitely won't. I can promise you.
Have you guys been taking part in any quizzes or any games with the families at all?
Yes, we've got the game of life that we've played a few times, which is quite interesting.
How did that one go?
Well, basically, you've got to move around the board, collecting children and pets, and accumulating money for your job, and whoever's got the most money at the end of the game wins.
I like it. You mentioned pets there, actually, Matt. That is a question I'd like to ask you. I know, Matt, you've got dogs. Oriol, I believe you've got a dog as well.
She's living.
Oh,
She loves to nap outside.
What's her name?
Yuna.
Oh, lovely.
What make is it?
Huh?
What make?
What make?
We'll call it Weimaraner.
Oh, she's
Weimaraner. Okay, yeah.
See, that must make isolation a little bit more fun. Am I right? Because I know that I loved growing up with my dog, and I feel like having a dog is just such a lovely kind of companion, and I feel like that must keep you busy and occupied for a lot of the day. Do you think?
Definitely. I'm also now watching some videos on YouTube. There's a guy that gives you like tricks for the dogs, and I'm loving it. And the dog is also loving it because we are learning new things every day. It's like 10-15 minutes, but she does stuff that she didn't used to do. So it's good, and then we also can keep ourselves a little bit busier. So it's great to have them around. It's
How
lovely.
old is she, Oriol?
4 years now. She's English. She's English, yeah, and then she's been always in here with me. So yeah, 4 years now already.
You have to speak to her in English, Oriol.
She speaks English and Spanish. She speaks both.
Oh, okay.
She's a clever dog. Yeah, because the dog talks to her in English, and I talk both. So sometimes I say "good girl," sometimes I say it in Spanish, and she just, as soon as there's a treat, she just follows. She doesn't mind.
Matt, I bet Maddie and Bella have been loving having you guys home all the time.
Yeah, certainly Maddie has. She's a big old unit, as you know, and she likes to make herself known around the house. She's what I call the fun police. Anyone starts having any sort of fun, she's in there wanting to be involved, whilst being the clumsiest dog you've ever seen. And when you've got a 50-kilo dog that stands on your foot, it's not fun. But I think she's 4 or 5 now, pretty similar age to Oriol. But our Bella, who's going to be 13 in May, she's just starting to struggle a little bit, bless her. So she's just starting to slow down a little bit, and the movement isn't quite what it used to be. So it takes a little while to get up in the morning and stretch her legs out, and a bit like me, really. She's
Well, it's even more special that you have that time with her.
Sorry?
It's even more special that you've got that time with her, Matt.
No, absolutely it is, and it was lovely last night. I mean, she has a little place in the house, in the lounge behind a sofa, not in the lounge where we sit in the evenings, and so we very rarely see her. But last night, about 10 o'clock, Angela and my mother-in-law had gone to bed, and I was just sat in the room on my own watching the TV, and Bella actually came into the lounge, laid down by my feet, and for the next 2.5 hours she was just in the room with me, and before I went to bed I was on the floor with her having a little cuddle, and it was lovely. Just nice to spend some real good quality time with her. She's such a lovely dopey dog, as you know. She's just been the best companion, and it's just nice to have those little quiet moments.
Absolutely, yeah, they really are man's best friend, aren't they? Now, guys, it's been so lovely to talk to you. So lovely to hear what you've been up to, how you're keeping busy. Shannon, Oriol, great to hear that you guys are keeping ticking over, staying fit. But before we kind of say goodbye and let you guys go, is there maybe any messages or anything you'd like to say for not just the people at home, but also to our amazing key workers that are putting themselves out on the front line throughout all of this?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the NHS workers have just been absolutely phenomenal during all of this, and the best thing we can do for them is to sit at home and chill out. Let them do what they've got to do. Let's obey all the rules, and just if we do that, we get back to normal as soon as we possibly can, and everybody can go back to having a normal life. And they have been quite amazing. And if you're in your lockdown, as most people would do, I think, try and learn a new skill. While you've got the chance, take this opportunity to try and learn a new skill, like I did with like cutting the grass and cleaning windows and stuff.
Shannon, have you got anything you'd like to pass on to everyone watching?
Just a huge thank you to all the NHS and all the key workers. I think it's incredible to see, like, in these times of adversity, like how we come together, like, as a country. Just thanking them massively.
Marieanne, Oriol, any words to echo the thoughts of Matt and Shannon?
Yeah, I think they've kind of summed it up, but I also think the best thing that we can do is do as we've been asked to stay home, so that we relieve the pressure on the key workers and use the time positively, because like you said, when we come out of this, we'll probably have different outlook on life, and maybe not take things for granted as we did, but certainly the key workers, the NHS in particular, but all the people that that are working in shops and keep allowing us to still have the opportunity to go shopping and buy food, and it seems like real basics, but they're helping the country to get into a place where we can then go and see our family and friends and have that coffee. So a massive thank you to them, and please don't stop, and stay safe, but ensure that we ensure that we help them to keep safe as well by doing what we should be doing.
Yeah, I totally agree. To finish, more or less the same message, to thank everyone what they're doing. It's amazing. The NHS, the people carrying and being in the supermarkets. They're probably the real heroes now, and they've never been treated that way. But it's amazing how they are keeping everyone with food, with health, with everything, providing with all the stuff that we need. We need to appreciate them, and the only thing that we have to do is stay at home, which is very easy and simple. So just follow the rules, make sure we don't spread any virus anymore, we don't infect any more people, and we can control it as soon as possible. And the quicker we do it, the better, and the earlier we'll be able to come back to our normal life. So it's a clear message. It's very easy for us, so we should have to follow the message from the government, and hopefully we'll be out there enjoying as we used to do, and we will do it soon for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for chatting. It was so nice catching up with all of you. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. Stay safe, and we hope to see you all soon.